Hey guys, this is Kato from Strava.com. Today's April 18th. We're at the ocean right now. At the, where is this? Crystal Cove?
Crystal Cove, yeah.
The new area here.
New picnic area.
The new picnic area. And we came down, we went up Bomber, down Pacific Trail, whatever you want to call it. Now we're heading back up to, back home. So enjoy the ride. Okay, let's go. I'm with Paul over here.
You're taking the long ride, too.
And we're climbing back up. All the way back up. If you've been here, you probably have recognized this bridge. This is the bridge at the start of the trailhead. I'm not sure which way we're going back up. Looks like we're going to make a right here. No, it looks like we're going to go up, I think I can. Again, this is the Laguna Coast Wilderness Park. We're in the lower valley section right now. And we're probably going to be heading up, I think I can, into El Moro. There we're going to do the entire loop back home, so that'll be the Serrano Ridge on the way home. Today I'm testing out my new iPhone mount that's attached to my own bike mount. And it's attached to my stem in front of my bike below the handlebars. Basically testing to see that it doesn't jiggle out of place and also the angle is correct. When I was coming down Pacific Ridge from Coastal Peak Park, because of the vibration, the mount that I attach it to started coming out with the screws. So I tightened it up and hopefully that'll hold. So that's one thing I got to take a look at so it doesn't come off again. Otherwise, it seems like it's working overall. When I get home, I'll take a look at the video. Previously, I had it on my stem, on my handlebars, or near my handlebars. And every time I would turn my wheel, actually the handlebars, the camera would move, so that was no good. So I decided to attach it to the frame. By attaching it to the front of the frame, it's not gonna move because it's not has nothing to do with the handlebars. So it's gonna get a much better picture. So it's not moving side to side anymore. So hopefully the quality is going to be a lot better for viewing purposes. If you haven't checked out Strava.com, you should check it out. It's basically the Facebook of mountain bikers. It's a place where mountain bikers log their rides from their Garmin's or their iPhones or their Androids, and they log their rides and their segments, see how they compete against their fellow buddies. And basically anyone who does those particular rides or segments, you get rated against them on time. So it's a pretty cool site, Strava.com, Strava.com. I'm Kato Leong on Strava, if you want to check it out. Strava is probably one of the better sites if you're really into racing or competing, because any segment or ride that you upload, anyone who has done that exact ride or segment, you will be placed in order by time and speed to see how you do against them. So it's a great way to get in shape, because you're constantly competing against others, trying to better your time against them as well. Okay, this is Willow. Not actually Willow, it's I think I can. Heading up to El Moro. For some reason my Strava's not working. Otherwise I would try to race this segment here. I think I'm number 14 on this segment. That was the last time I checked, was maybe about a month ago. So I'm sure a couple guys have bested my time. But because I don't have a Strava, I'm not going to waste my time killing myself trying to race it up this segment with no justification other than being tired. I do enough racing already on segments. I gotta find out what's wrong with Strava. Now I'm gonna get out of the saddle so I can work my legs a little bit more. So one of the better ways to get in shape is to get on Strava, because it forces you, well, not forces you, it encourages you to push yourself, to compete against yourself and others on various segments. You can also make your own segments, which is nice. I've made about 12 segments already, and I get to see how others compare to my time. So that's the first way that I've been able to get stronger. The second way is just standing out of saddle. It really works your legs, build your strength, endurance. And ever since I've been on Strava and standing out of the saddle, I've really become much stronger. So if you're looking to get stronger, get onto Strava, stand up, and crank out of the saddle. Trust me, those two things will definitely get you in shape and become a stronger rider. This is about a 7 or 8% grade climb. Not right here, but up ahead it'll get a little steeper. A lot of people ride this segment called I Think I Can. That's my buddy Paul Buckland. He's also on Strava as well. It's starting to get a little steeper here. It's about 7 to 8% here. Great climb to get in shape. Push yourself. I'll hang back here to videotape my buddy. About a week and a half ago was the Counting Coupe and the Vision Quest 2012. My buddy and I and a couple others did the Counting Coupe, which starts at the Black Star Trailhead, goes up to Black Star to Beaks, make a right onto the main divide, down motorway, up Maple Springs, to Four Corners, to the peak, down Upper Holy Gym, down Lower Holy Gym, Trabuco Creek, and home. Vision Quest does the same, but at the bottom of Lower Holy Gym, they make a left and go up Horse Thief. That must have been fun pushing their bike for about an hour plus, hour and a half. Then they jump onto the main divide, and then down Trabuco, then to Trabuco Creek. Takes an extra hour and a half to 2 hours, plus to do that extra segment for Vision Quest. That was the first time I did Counting Coupe. Did it in 5 hours and 23 minutes. There were about 160, 170 people doing the Counting Coupe. Another 140 to 160 in the Vision Quest. In the Counting Coupe, I'm in the 40 to 50-year-old group. In that group, I did 17th place, which is pretty good. I'm happy. I basically did exactly what I thought I would, which was up Black Star gate to gate in 52 minutes. And from Beaks to motorway, an hour and 4 minutes. So that's 2 hours to the top of motorway, which is really good. And then down motorway, 15 minutes about, which is good. There were some people in front of me slowing me down, but that's okay. And then from Maple Springs to Four Corners, that was about an hour and 15 minutes, which is a really good time. And that goes to Four Corners. And from Four Corners to the peak was about 45 minutes. And then from the peak to the finish line, which goes down Upper Holy Gym, Lower Holy Gym, and then Trabuco Creek. That was from the peak about an hour. So that makes in 5 hours and 23 minutes, which is pretty much what I was expecting. So I was right on time. Next year my goal is to get that in about 5 hours to 5 hours and 15 minutes. I injured my shoulder a week before, so I wasn't as aggressive as I wanted to. So it was a nice, not a casual ride, but pretty casual. So I had more reserves, so I didn't want to be too aggressive standing out of my saddle, things like that. So I'll do it again next year. But I had a really good time, awesome time. It was the best race. Felt pretty strong throughout the whole race. There was a blast going down from the peak, down Upper Holy Gym and Lower Holy Gym, and then racing to finish on Trabuco Creek. Okay. About a quarter mile or less, 8th mile to the top of I think I can. That joins up to Moro. And then we'll take that to Bomber Ridge. And from Bomber Ridge, then we'll go under the 73. Then we'll be on the other side of the 73. And we'll ride the Serrano Ridge to Quail Hill, and then right to my backyard. Stand up a bit. We're almost at the top of I think I can. Another 16th mile. Squeezing through. Thanks. Okay, that's the top of I think I can. Meets up with El Moro. We're gonna make a left here at El Moro. Some more good old climbing. Okay, sit down for a bit. You got the time, Paul?
What?
Got the time?
You want to stop?
No, what time is it? Do you have a thing?
Yeah, 6:19.
You're doing good. I gotta be home by 6. By 7:10.
I'll be home by 7, I think.
Okay.
We'll be home by 7. They're 40 minutes from here, probably.
Okay. Again, this is Moro, heading up to the upper campground in about a quarter mile. The only problem with the campground here is if you want to camp out, you gotta lug your gear for about 2 miles plus just to get here. You can't just drive your car up here. I guess you could ride your bike up here with all your gear. Pretty sure some people have done that. But most people carry their gear in. I've seen people up here before. There are mountain lions up here. 3 weeks ago I saw one. It was a juvenile. Not actually a juvenile. A couple years old. It wasn't a baby. Saw him running in front of me. And I tried to catch him a bit. And he jumped up into the tree line without a problem. They're basically scared of humans unless they're really hungry. Then they might go for you. Same day I saw 2 coyotes as well. This day I saw 3 rattlesnakes. 2 little ones. Actually 3 little ones. That were sunning on the road. And then before I met up with Paul, I did a loop at Quail Hill, which is the 2-mile little loop, and there was a Pacific rattlesnake there. He was an adult. Okay, this is called the Lower Moro campground. The upper one is, I guess, up ahead, which is slightly in a valley, and about 2 miles, 1.5 miles from us. Slightly down, and then there's about 2 or 3 climbs from here, not big climbs, and that takes us to Laurel Ridge. Again, this is Moro, heading up from the ocean. first started riding 6, 7, 8 years ago, I used to hate climbing up El Moro. I wasn't in good shape. But I'm in pretty good shape now. It's really nice that you can just ride it, not worry about getting all tuckered out. Of course, unless you're racing pretty fast. But otherwise, these are pretty calm hills for me and Paul. So it's nice and enjoyable. It wasn't always that way. This is the Upper El Moro campground, I guess. And there's actually one more campground up ahead to the left, but it's more to the left actually, and it goes down the hill. So I think there's like 3 of them back here. And there is the one near the PCH. That's more for your trailer or your RV.
I had a twinge of cramp in my calf. Fucking second.
Coming up to the right, it's a single trail heading down. It's called Old Emerald. That's a nice trail. Nice single trail that weaves its way down to the valley down there. It's really beautiful down there. Grass, great place for deer to hang out. I'm not going to do that today. Still heading up El Moro. It should be the top right there almost. Oh, it looks like one more little hill. Finish off El Moro. we go. That's El Moro. Just to the left is a single trail that's I call fence line. Goes parallel, but it's a single trail. It goes parallel to Bomber Ridge. We're coming up on Bomber Ridge over here. Bomber Ridge will go left and right, and fence line will go parallel to that. We just passed it. What time is it now?
6:30.
6:30. Okay, got half an hour plus. Okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
You get a drink real quick.
2,200 feet of climbing and 13.6 miles.
Okay, good. Okay, ready. Okay, this is Bomber Ridge. I'm making a right on Bomber Ridge. This is heading toward Willow. We're not going to go down Willow. We're going to go to the left of Willow. Straight ahead right there to the right is Willow. That goes down to the 133 to Laguna Beach. We just made a left here, which heads down to, I think it's Stagecoach or Laurel. I'm not sure which one. But it goes under the 73. Get to the other side, which is Shady Canyon, Quail Hill area, and that's where I live, and that's where we're heading. Coming up on the left is Lizard. That's a really nice single trail. Goes back up to Bomber Ridge where we came from. Just to the right here is Laurel Trail. That's a pedestrian trail, no bikers. So I guess this is called Laurel then, not Stagecoach. Laurel heads to the 73, under the 73. And once you're under 73 on the other side, that's going to be Shady Canyon area and Quail Hill. So that's where we're heading, and that's where we came from. This is a nice, quiet little lower elevation meadow kind of area. There's a lot of oaks here. There's a lot of water. There's a stream that cuts through Lizard over there to the left. So there's water channels which can support the big oak trees which you see ahead of me right near to the left. Got about a quarter mile before we hit the 73, in which we'll go under it. And then we emerge on the other side, which is the Shady Canyon, Quail Hill area. This is always a nice little secluded, peaceful area to ride through. A lot of vegetation here. There's the water. It's a low-lying area. We're going to do a little climbing here, coming up until we reach the 73. Put it in 2 and 3. That's the 73 just ahead of us. You can start hearing the cars. One more little climb here. Just to the left of us is the call Marie Callender. It's a single trail, pretty rugged, pretty technical. Probably one of the more technical single trails back here. Okay, now we're directly under the 73. Heading toward Camarillo, which heads down to the Nick Center. We're not going to go that way. We're going to go straight on to Serrano Ridge coming up. To the left of us is Bomber Canyon. There's a trail there, but it's only open to docent-led rides, so we can't go that way. But again, that goes to Bomber Canyon, climbs up and then goes down to Bomber Canyon. But again, that's off limits. Okay, we're almost to Serrano Ridge. I think this is Serrano Ridge coming up. Like I said, just to the right is a trail that's docent-led only, that goes back to Bomber Canyon. Now we're on Serrano Ridge. Just to the right of us, going parallel, is the 73, heading toward Santa Margarita, Rancho Santa Margarita. So Viejo. Okay, we're coming up to Four Corners, which is the intersection of Camarillo that heads to the left, to the right. To the Nick Center, you would have to climb up Stagecoach west and east to get there. Camarillo is coming up right now to the left side of us, right here. That's Camarillo right here. Again, we're on Serrano Ridge now. It's nice back here on Serrano Ridge. It's a little more quiet here. Not as much foot traffic. To the right is the Nick Center. still on Serrano Ridge. Just up ahead, right there, just to the left, is another docent led single trail. Docent led means you have to sign up ahead of time and join a group led by a docent to be able to ride that. The name of that trail is Fox Run. It's a downhill, pretty technical downhill single trail. By the way, if you don't have tubeless tires, you should definitely consider it. I ran tubes for 8 years. I would have a flat, 2 or 3 flats a week for 8 years until I got sick and tired of it. I now run the Stan's tubeless tires for about 4 months now. Haven't had one flat. That's so awesome. I used to get 3 or 4 flats a week. I was so tired of buying new tubes, I would patch them up. Now I don't have to do that. I just ride. So awesome. So if you're getting flats, and you don't have, and you're using tubes still, definitely consider investing your money in a tubeless tire setup. Generally you'll need a tubeless tire, but you can also use a regular tire that's generally tight, and then you get the stand sealant. You pour it in, pump it up. It'll leak a little bit, but you keep pumping it until it eventually seals all the holes. And then you're good for a couple months, up to 7 months, before the sealant dries up and you need to put some more sealant in. I've had it for about 3 months now or so, and within maybe a month or 2 months from now, I'll put some more sealant in. I checked it a week ago, and there was still some sealant in there. Basically took off the wheel, and I shook it, and you can hear if there's sealant in there. Basically, if you get a puncture, the liquid sealant fills up the hole, and for most holes it'll patch it up, unless it's a really big hole, or it's a hole on the sidewall. Then you might need to, it may not hold. But I'm riding the specialized ground control on the front and what's on the back, which are pretty good tires for traction, and they're pretty thick. They're a little heavier than normal, but I don't mind that. It just makes me stronger. But I'd rather have a stronger, thicker tire than a thin tire. Get a cut in my sidewall, and then I can't repair it. That's exactly what happened to my buddy ahead of me, Paul. He has specialized tires, but they're the thinnest ones for racing. So very thin. And going down motorway, he hit a rock on the side of his sidewall, punctured a big hole, and he lost 30 minutes in the race. So that killed him. Took 30 minutes to repair. And he was riding side by side with me, basically. Because he had to repair his tire, he ended up over half an hour behind me. on Serrano Ridge. We're coming up on the next docent-led single trail coming up on the left-hand side in about 1/16 of a mile. That's called Rabbit. It's another single trail, nice single trail, technical, steep descent downhill, docent-led only. And it's coming up right here. It's called Rabbit. But we're not going to go down it, of course. We're going to continue down Serrano Ridge. Coming up to the left is Cattle Crust. Right there, single trail, docent-led again. Okay, we're coming up to the homes in Shady Canyon in about a quarter mile. We'll be pretty much at the top of the Shady Canyon, one of the top hills. We'll take another single trail over to the right of Shady Canyon, back down to Quail Hill. sun will be down in about less than half an hour. Straight ahead is Shady Canyon, if you can see it with the glare. See right here, this is where I get most of my flats from racing it and bumping my tire on that bank right there. Oh man, I just get so many flats trying to get a king of the mountain on this segment, going the opposite direction. And I'm flying down this hill right here because the end of the segment is right about where this pavement starts. So you're flying down there, and unless you kind of jump that curb, your tire is going to hit that and bottom out. I must have had 4 or 5 flats right there trying to beat my Strava time. I think I'm second on Strava on this one, but heading the opposite direction, climbing up from switchbacks. So from back there on the pavement, see the bottom where the bridge is, about a quarter mile, which is the beginning. I think I'm second right now on Strava. I've been there for about 4 months. I'll probably try to come back and do it again and beat the guy who was first place. He was about 10 seconds ahead of me. I can do that 10 seconds. I'm a lot stronger than I was 5 months ago. I got a 29er, so it rolls much faster. I like riding back here, it's nice and peaceful, switchbacks. Thanks for the special treatment.
Yeah, no problem.
We're about a mile to a mile and a half to the end. Just got to go through all this single trail. Climbing up and then a little bit down, and then we're done. Okay, perfect. Just ahead of us is it's Irvine. Irvine's in a valley. You can probably see the yellow-orange balloon. That's the Great Park. You can see it. This is all Quail Hill to the right of us. About 7:03 in the evening on Thursday, April 18th, I think. One more downhill, and we're done. Not this downhill, but coming up, going the opposite direction, is they call it the Quail Hill step climb. It's 0.3 miles. It's about 20% grade, and I'm king of the mountain on that one. And it starts right about here, and that's the ending point. And then it gets really steep here, about 20% grade. So I will be coming in the opposite direction for 0.3 miles, going about 6 miles per hour up a 20% grade. That's pretty fast, climbing up this hill. That would be my king of the mountain on this one. So, got a pretty good time, so hopefully no one's going to beat it. It's been there for a while. It should stick for a while, unless a professional comes by, and once in a while they do. And it ends right here, or actually it begins there, climbs up the hill for 0.3 miles, and that's my king of the mountain. Got about 15 king of the mountains on Strava right now. Always getting more, always losing some to faster guys. Got about 15, which is pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. Okay, Paul.
That's good. 3,000 feet of climbing, 2 hours.
That's Paul right there again. You can see him. And we're done with our ride. Okay, Paul.
Yeah.
I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, take care. Okay guys, we're going to end the video here. Hope you enjoyed it. Otherwise I'm wasting my time narrating everything. But again, this is Kato Leong from Strava.com on Strava, Strava.com. Have a great day. Take care.